we have a new AEW World Champion. The Death Riders are done. Jon Moxley, he's finally lost that briefcase. It is cracked open. Hangman Adam Page lifted it above his head. Was this an overbooked mess? Absolutely. Did I love it in the same way I loved Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40? Absolutely, I did. This was such a feel-good moment. There were really violent spots. The audience was loving it. They were getting really into it. And for this story, for a company which claims to be the mixing pot of professional wrestling, I think it worked. It was a risk, but it was a risk which paid off. And in the end, I'm really happy with this. And the Death Rider storyline still had some hiccups, but for the most part, I think it has elevated Hangman Adam Page's star power to a whole other level. Darby Allin's return as well to help Hangman Adam Page Shad from start until finish. I love this one. What's your take?
Man, this was probably my personal favorite match of the night. I am a sicko to the core. I love absolute utter chaos. I love violence. I love bloodshed. I love it all, man. And it was entertaining to me from start to finish. The overbook, the return of Darby Allin, all of a sudden coming from a mountain in Mount Everest from the top of an arena. I don't know how that works, but he pulled it off, man. And Swerve kind of being the catalyst at the end. The arch nemesis of Hangman Adam Page being an ally for him and helping him overcome the burden that is the Death Riders, finding that common enemy. That is beautiful. And Hangman, bro, this guy is arguably one of the best in the business. He may be the best AEW wrestler of all time when his career is all said and done. The fact that he can take you on an emotional roller coaster within any storyline, whether you root for him or whether you want to root against him, he has the ability of doing that. And he is the absolute perfect person to beat Moxley for this title, ending this Death Rider storyline. I feel like it was poetic justice at the end of the day. I think a lot will be said about the Death Rider storyline, a lot more negative towards it. But I want to just say this before. I don't want the IWC to paint and make us forget how important Jon Moxley is. Jon Moxley is a foundational piece to AEW. Jon Moxley has kind of been the break the glass to kind of save anything type of wrestler throughout his entirety of it. He had an idea. It was a good idea. It didn't play through. But through it all, man, I thought he kind of did create in this storyline going into All In as the ultimate villain, as the person you wanted to overcome. And they overcame it. And now it's done. And I'm excited to see what goes on. You saw how emotional Hangman is. I'm hoping this title reign is going to be better than the last one. And I'm confident that it will, because I think Hangman has grown so much since that last championship to where we are now. Like, I feel like this may be on the ability of having one of the best title reigns in AEW history. He's that talented. So I'm
Wow.
excited for it, and congratulations to him.
It was a fantastic moment, and I do agree with you, Shard. Hopefully, this reign will be much better for Hangman Page, and I'm excited going into it. It feels like a crowning of a new era. But, Anthony, what was your take on the main event of All in Texas?
Going into it, you knew it was going to be a cluster mess. It had to be. It was the type of match that it had to be. I've gone on record multiple times. I think the Death Rider story may be one of the worst stories that in the years I've been watching wrestling. It was a takeover that went nowhere. So this thing needed to be put out of its misery. The logical choice was Hangman. Hangman has been the face of the company. It's a logical choice for him to be able to do it. It was violent. It was vicious. It was brutal. It's what you expected out of Hangman. Were there moments where you're like, I don't know if that was necessary, but whatever. But you had people running in. I had no problem with Darby coming back for it. I do have a slight problem with the fact that, okay, so AEW is burning down over this takeover. You don't come back to save the company. You decide, I'm going to climb Everest, and you acknowledge it on TV, which is, to me, that's the problem. You acknowledged it. So you're literally telling the audience, he could have came back to help AEW, but he wanted to climb Everest instead. Now, I'm sure the AEW audience won't care, but from a storytelling standpoint, it's a really bad look. They took out Ospreay immediately. People came out to check on him. Marina got taken out. Before then, no one checked on her. Oh, it's not the high price free agent. So we got to take care of the investment. I know Marina needed to be used later on, but at least have somebody check on her. Fellow Death Rider, nobody checked on her. She's lying there until she needed to be called in to get the briefcase. I love the Nana spot with the handcuff. I thought that was well done. Swerve coming out, the full circle moment when Hangman, I thought that was smart. They played it out well. Now, they need to do this in the way the Death Riders, they got to be done. Like, you can't continue on. WWE made the mistake continuing the bloodline after the 40 thing. Like, they should have took a break, but they went straight into, let's try this again. So I think the match delivered what it needed to do. I'm hoping Hangman's reign this time works out better than the last time. Last time it was the chase. He excelled that, but the booking just didn't work. It didn't pan out. I'm hoping he has a better shot this time. So we'll see what happens, but kind of it was what you expected it to be as far as the brutality and the violence.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. It definitely was violent, I'll say that much. I mean, I think it was 7 minutes into the match. The commentators just looked at each other. And they were like, this is only 7 minutes in, and the ring's just...
I do want to say it was an absolutely smart move to bring JR in for the last 2 matches.
Yeah.
I thought that was really awesome. You could tell that his health, you could tell. And it's kind of funny because I remember, it's funny because when he went out there, they were talking about Philly cheesesteaks, and I don't know if that was a nod to him coming back from the Bell's palsy at 15 when he surprised everybody and called the Austin Rock match. I don't know if that was intended or not, but it immediately made me think of that.
No, I mean, that is, it's honestly a great shout. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, this pay-per-view, it was very, very long, but I don't think it's going to be one which we're quick to forget.